Three-time presidential candidate William Jennings Bryan once said, and I quote, "No one can earn $1 million honestly." Try telling that to Rick Santorum, who's boasting about raising $1 million in just one day after finishing a mere 8 votes behind Mitt Romney in Iowa. But in reality, it's the Supreme Court that should be taking the bows, because it was their decision in the Citizens United case that opened the floodgates to the unfettered buying and selling of political candidates. Former Louisiana Governor Buddy Roemer is a Republican candidate for President of the United States, and the only man who doesn't fear coming onto this broadcast. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
I didn't say I was smart.
Now, sir, you vowed not to take any money from a political action committee or a PAC or a super PAC, and you've refused any donation of more than, I think, $100. But in Iowa,
that's the way
in Iowa, you ended up with a total of just 31 votes. And I say this not to mock you, sir, but doesn't that prove the point? No money, no political success.
Well, it could, but I chose not to compete in Iowa, as you know, if you tell the full story. I gave one speech in February, and I told them that we ought to cut the ethanol subsidy, that we ought to balance the budget, and that would be their contribution. I love the farmers in Iowa, but I did not have the resources to compete there, so I did not go back to Iowa. I have spent my time
you are now in New
Hampshire.
But you are now in New Hampshire. Do you expect to fare any better there without having the resources that all of the other candidates have?
It'll be difficult, particularly, Martin, when you're not included in any of the national debates. I'm the only person running for president of the United States who's been a congressman and a governor. I'm the only person running for president of the United States who doesn't have a super PAC, who doesn't take PAC money, who goes directly to the people. I mean, my God, who do you want as president? A guy taking $1 million checks under the table, or a woman or a man who's free to lead?
And I'm sorry, to answer your question, sir, it seems to be the electorate are saying they prefer the guy with the money. I mean, they clearly don't care about your experience.
Martin, be fair to the people. There have been 16 national debates. I haven't been asked to be on a single one of them. I mean, I was a pretty good governor. I was a 4-term congressman, 8 years, organized the boll weevils, helped balance the budget, did tax reform. I like my record. I've been a private banker for the last 6 years, building a $1 billion bank that didn't foreclose on its mortgage holders. I mean, I have experienced exactly what a president needs to do, but the people don't know me.
Okay,
they haven't heard of me.
So is it your view?
I am surprised.
Is it your view?
You know, one thing that surprises.
If I can just move you to this principal question, though, is it your view that limiting the amount of money a person or a corporation can give to a candidate, does that amount to an infringement of First Amendment rights guaranteeing free speech?
Not if it's done broadly, not if it's applied fairly, and not if everybody is in the circle. But what has happened now is that these super PACs are illegal. The Supreme Court and the FEC said very clearly, Martin, that you could have a super PAC, but it had to be independent of the campaign. I mean, heck, John Huntsman's father is funding his super PAC. Is that independent? I mean, Mitt Romney has his former business partner running his. President Obama has his former chief of staff running his. What's wrong with America? Special interests own our government. Where are the people? They've disappeared.
OK, well, perhaps Mitt Romney can help us understand this. Let me play what Mr. Romney said about corporate money back in August while stumping in Iowa. Listen to this, Mr. Roemer.
Corporations are people, my friend. We can raise taxes on, of course they are. Everything corporations earn ultimately goes to people. So where do you think it goes?
Indeed, where does he think it goes? How is that message likely to sell with voters across the nation, especially when it comes from a man who was literally born in wealth, who spent years getting rich by playing with corporations as if they were properties in a game of Monopoly?
Corporations are not people. They can't be drafted. They can't have an operation. They can't catch cancer. They can't have children. Corporations are not people. They are a legal entity to protect the shareholders. But by God, they do not have the rights of people.
OK, I have to remind you, of course, that the president himself will have a war chest in excess of $1 billion. So although he has condemned Citizens United as a ruling, he too concedes in practice the power of money in politics.
No, it's called hypocrisy, Martin. He doesn't practice what he preached. He said, we're going to change America. He hadn't changed a darn thing.
But what can he do? The Supreme Court made a ruling.
No, you can do it. The Supreme Court didn't tell Buddy Roemer what he had to do. The Supreme Court said, this is our ruling on campaign contributions. Buddy Roemer gets to lead, gets to decide what he will do. Here's what I've decided. No PACs, no super PACs, $100 limit. It is a free country, and I've made that decision. You know who could make that decision? The leader of America, the President of the United States. He doesn't have the guts to do it. He knows it's wrong. He said it's wrong. Well, why don't you stand up, Mr. President, and practice what you preach? Look, I love America, but I don't like its politics. It's bought and sold by the special interest, Martin. You know it, I know it, and the President knows it. Do something about it, Mr. President.
Indeed. Former Governor Buddy Roemer, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck on Tuesday.